What's up, guys, and welcome back to episode 10 of the 2K Robinhood Options Trading Challenge. In this series, we started a Robinhood account with 2K, and we are trying to grow it to 3K as quickly as possible. In this video, we are going to be covering all of the trades made during the week of October 10th and see how much we were able to profit. Before we get into all of the trades, make sure you drop a like down below, and if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. For this week, we basically traded sideways. We can see here that on the 10th, that is the start of the week, and we were around $360. And by the end of the week, we were at $357. So the stock market basically just traded sideways. Not a whole lot happened. I was expecting some bigger moves, and we saw this big move here on the 13th. And that had to do with the announcement of the September inflation data. And honestly, there wasn't a whole lot of, positivity with it, and there wasn't a whole lot of negativity, and we kind of see that with how the market reacted, right? The market thought, hey, this is good news. We saw inflation kind of retract a little bit, but they also turned around and basically on Friday reversed all those gains. And that's more of the market saying, we expected inflation to be in a little bit better position than it is right now. So overall, just a very sideways week. And here's the first trade that we put on. And we actually put this trade on last Wednesday. So not Wednesday of this week, we put it on actually last Wednesday. And we were targeting the 12th because we knew the inflation data was coming out the 13th and we wanted to avoid some of that volatility. So I kind of didn't put on any trades this week, knowing that there could be volatility towards the end of the week. I was generally playing it safe. At the end of the day, I could have been more aggressive and capitalized on the market trading sideways, but I thought the risk wasn't worth the reward. That's kind of burnt us in the past, the last couple of weeks, the last couple announcements. And here, we put on the first trade. We got in at 350, 351 spread, and we were able to get $8 for this spread. And again, get out of the trade before we kind of expected a lot of the volatility with inflation data and then also earnings announcements coming up on Friday as well. So overall, this trade worked out pretty well and was planned kind of pretty well. We do end up getting the fill for $8. The market was just kind of being, a little nitpicky, but we do end up getting the fill here. Here we have the first wheel strategy trade, and this trade I actually made and then I forgot to record it. So I basically re-recorded exactly what I was looking at, what I was doing. So I came in here, I went out to the 14th and I sold a SoFi put. You can see that I already have the -1 there. So I sold one and I was able to collect 20 cents on it. And we actually did end up getting a sign. So we will start running the wheel on SoFi, and I think overall this is going to help the account quite a bit. And the final trade of this week is another SPY put credit spread. And we actually made this trade again on last Wednesday, the same as the previous SPY put credit spread. As the market kind of fell, we were able to go even further out of the money. So we could see here that we go down to the 347, 348, and actually we're able to collect the same amount of premium as before. We were able to collect $8 on this trade. And again, we went out to the 12th for the exact same reasons. We wanted to avoid earnings and avoid the inflation data and the volatility that could cause in the market. Here we have the Excel spreadsheet where we track all of our trades. And this week you could see all the trades that we made. So we only have those three. So we had the SPY put credit spread that we traded where we collected $8, where we had the 350 and 351 strikes. And then again, basically made the exact same trade on the exact same day. And we're able to go a little further out of the money. And then here is the interesting one, the SoFi put that we sold. And we were able to collect $20 on that. We only had to put up $500 in collateral. But what we saw is that SoFi actually dropped below on Friday, below this $5 mark. So we were assigned shares, 100 shares of SoFi. And what we are going to do is we're going to run the wheel on this. And to make this interesting and make sure we kind of stay with the challenge, we are going to sell and try to sell calls every week to make sure we're always collecting premium. Hopefully the stock obviously doesn't dip too far down below where we have to sell calls way out of below our cost basis. But right now I feel very comfortable owning SoFi around this mark. It hasn't really gotten much below that $4.50 mark. So I think we should be able to keep collecting premium and put ourselves in a very good spot. And I think overall this could really help the account. For the week, we were up $36 with those trades. Obviously, some of these debit spreads that we have down here, those affected where we're at. So these are just where we've sold everything at. This SPY one, we did put in a close order for this. We want to try and get $80 for this one. So if the market spikes up, has a lot of volatility, or for whatever reason, we can close it out for $80, then we will close out of this trade. And this one was a put debit spread. So basically it's betting that the market would go down. And then we do have these call debit spreads on. This Google one has really hurt us. The market kind of spiked up. We thought it was going to keep rising up. And, you know, it was at the 117.5 and 20 strikes. And overall, Google's dropped all the way down below $100. And then we ended up putting on this trade. This one I feel a lot more comfortable with. I mean, we're all the way out in June of next year. So there's plenty of time for this debit spread, you know, to get further into the money and do better over time. And then SoFi, this one I still don't feel too bad about. I think by the end of the year, SoFi, especially if they have good earnings, they could spike up and we might be able to get out of this trade with a little bit of a profit. So overall, that's kind of where the account's sitting at right now. Let's jump over and actually take a look at Robinhood. So here we have the Robinhood account, and I want to go over basically what the account's looking like. So over the last week, we actually are up over 2%, so up around $33, you can see here, and had a lot of volatility. It's been weird. There's been a lot of volatility, weird volatility on Thursdays for the last few weeks. This one obviously makes sense with a lot of the inflation data, but last week we saw a similar pattern where the volatility just went insane for a little bit. I mean, we spiked all the way up here at one point above $1,600. So that actually would have been crazy, you know, if we had gotten out at there, but you know, that was very temporary. The market moved all the way back down within 10 minutes to kind of where we're sitting at now. So overall, not a bad week. 2% is obviously a really good move, and we need to kind of continue that trend to get back to where we want to be. We want to get this account kind of back to the $2,000 mark. We can see all time that we are down 21%. That's been really hurt by that 1 week where we had a lot of put spreads on and the market just crashed through them on, you know, basically the last day on Friday, right before the trades were going to expire in the money. The market just went through the strikes and there's nothing you can do about it at that point. So overall, the other thing that I wanted to point out, so here's the 100 shares of SoFi that we have. So SoFi Technologies, we can see we're sitting right here. And if we go to options, we can kind of see what we might be able to sell a call for. So if we go down to here, we can see that maybe for expiring October 21st, we could probably sell at this $13 mark, or collect these $13 at this $5 strike. Overall, I wouldn't be opposed to doing that. I think that's probably a good thing that can, you know, help the account. I'd love to get further out of the money, but I don't know if that's going to be, you know, a huge benefit to get, you know, only collect $3. Worst case, we can roll this trade up to this 550 strike and, you know, overall end up being fine. So that's really where we're sitting at. Here again is that close order that I mentioned. So we are going to try and close that debit spread that we have right here, this put debit spread. So right now it's sitting at $48. And basically we are going to try and close it for $80. So if we're able to, you know, get out of that, that'll be a pretty good profit, because I think we put this trade on for like $42. Right now it's in the money with where the market's at, but we still have so much time for expiration. The last thing that I wanted to touch on is I'm kind of looking at this cash that we have here and wondering what I should do with it. I want to keep trading spreads, but the other thing that interests me is Palantir. So PLTR, I do like Palantir stock, and right now it's sitting at a very interesting price. So it dropped almost, over 7% for the entire day. And if we go to their options, we can see that if we sold a put around their current strike at $7, we would be able to collect $8. And that's obviously well below where the market's at right now. So that's 50 cents below. Or we could even sell at $7.50 and be able to collect $24. So this is something interesting that I'm kind of considering. I don't want to put all my cash into, you know, just a couple stocks and then be trading calls on these. So I'd rather trade spreads is what I'm thinking and kind of leaning towards right now, to kind of keep the account growing and keep, you know, things interesting. But if maybe we get out of this SoFi trade this next week and Palantir is still in an interesting spot, maybe we'll start trading the wheel on Palantir. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. And as always, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day.